Hey artists and artists, welcome back to the fourth and last episode of our portrait tutorial series. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to draw nose, lips and all those remaining facial details. And it's really an easy process in comparison with the previous episodes. So I hope you will successfully complete your portraits after this last episode. And whenever you're done with your portraits, post them on your Instagram profile and tag me in the post. And I'll share all the submissions on my Instagram profile. So grab your tools and let's get started. So as I said in my previous episode, I'm going to use these Derwent's graphic pencils for this portrait. You don't need this specific brand or all these different types of grades. Just grab a B, 3B, 5B and 9B and you're good to go. Starting from the nose, first of all I'm going to grab this B pencil and fill the area with a base layer. By the way, you can find the real-time tutorial on my Patreon profile. The link is in the description. Now I'm gonna grab this soft synthetic watercolor brush and blend the base layer. Make sure you clean the brush before blending the base layers. Now I'm gonna grab this 3B pencil and add the darker shades on both the sides of the nose. And blend the second layer with a dry brush. Okay, now using the same 3B pencil, I'm gonna darken the outlines of these nostrils. Okay, now I'm gonna grab this 9B pencil and fill the nostrils with a darker shade. Now I'm gonna grab this 5B pencil and extend the shades to the lower sides, just a little bit. Now using this 3B pencil, add some darker shades on the lower side of the nose. Okay, now blend these shades with a dry brush. After blending, add some shades above the nostrils and also in this area between the nostrils. And blend the shades with a dry brush. And here you go, we are done with the nose. Okay, moving on to the ear. First of all, as always, fill the area with a B pencil and blend the shade. Now grab your 3B pencil and add some darker shades around the hair and also in this lower portion. And blend the shades with a dry brush. Now grab your 5B pencil and darken these shades. Okay, now grab your mechanical pencil or any other sharp tip pencil and add these individual hairs. I'm using this Pentor Graph Gear 500 with HP LEDs. Okay, moving on to the lips portion. First of all, grab your 3B pencil and darken this middle line. Okay, now using the same 3B pencil, darken these outlines and fill both the lips with a base layer of 3B. No matter what type of paper you are using, you will always get this type of texture or you can say white dots in your shades. So you have to fill this texture with a sharp tip pencil. Now blend this shade with a dry brush. Okay, now I'm gonna grab this 5B pencil and add some darker shade along the outline of the lower lip. Make sure you leave this middle portion lighter or as it is. Also add this darker shade in this V-shaped portion of the upper lip. And add some of these light texture lines in the lower lip. Again blending the shades with a dry brush. And also darken this middle line with a 9B pencil. Okay, now I'm gonna take this Tombow Mono Zero Eraser and add these highlights in the lower lip. Now I'm gonna take this white cherry roll pen and add these small random white lines in the highlights. You can use any ordinary whitener aka correction pen for this purpose. Now lightly blend the highlights with the dry brush. Okay, moving on to the skin shading, and I think it's the easiest part of this portrait. You just have to add a base layer of P, and as always blend the base layer with a dry brush. Now grab your 3B pencil and add some darker shades in the corners to make the face look more three-dimensional. Add this circular shade in the corner of the lip along with a slight shade below the nose. And make sure you leave these kind of highlights below the nose. Add a slight shade in the lower side of the cheek. Along with a light shade below the eye. And you are done with the left side of the face. Now grab your dry brush and blend these shades slowly and smoothly. And try to blend these specific shades with a smaller brush or something like that to avoid smudging or blending the highlights. Okay, after blending the shades, I'm gonna add another layer of 3B in the corner portion to darken the shades. Okay, now moving on to this lower side. And first of all, I'm gonna grab this B pencil and add this outline for the shadow of the lower lip. Now I'm gonna grab this 3B pencil and add some dark shade below this line. And also add a slight shade here beside the chin. Okay, now I'm gonna repeat the same process on the right side of the face. Add this darker shade with the 3B pencil in the lower side of the cheek and also in the right side of the chin. And blend it with a dry brush. Okay, the face is ready and now I'm gonna shade this earring. First of all, grab this 3B pencil and make this proper wavy outline for the earring. Now I'm gonna add this type of shade in each wavy segment thingy or whatever it is. Okay, now I'm gonna add the highlights using Mono 0 Razor or Jelly Roll pen. And also darken the background shade with the 9B pencil to make it look more prominent. Okay, now moving on to the neck portion. And first of all, I'm gonna darken this chin outline with a 3B pencil. Now I'm gonna grab this B pencil and fill the neck portion with a base layer. I didn't notice the clothing on her shoulders, so I shaded everywhere with a single pencil, or you can say similar shade. But I would suggest you to leave this shirt area as it is, because I'm also gonna erase these shades later. Okay, so after blending the base layer, grab your 3B pencil and add this darker shade here as the shadow of the chin. And also add this kind of shade for these neck muscles. Along with this shirt shadow on both the sides. So after blending these shades, grab a 5B pencil and darken these shades, just in the upper portion. Okay, now I'm gonna add some highlights in these muscles using a Mono 0 Razor. You can also use a kneaded razor for this purpose. And it's not a compulsory thing, you can also skip this process if you want. I just wanted to match the neck shading tone with the face, because the shades in the neck are darker than the face. Okay, now I'm gonna add the final dark shade along the chin outline using a 9B pencil. Okay, so for the clothing, as I said, I'm gonna erase or lighten the shades using a Mono 0 eraser. And also darken the outline with a B pencil. Just a little bit. Also add a slightly darker shade in this portion using a 3B or 5B pencil. Okay, now I'm gonna grab this mechanical pencil and add these individual hairs on the clothing. And make sure you merge these hairs with the ones already present in the area. And by the way, I get this specific shape of the eraser by rubbing it on the sandpaper or any rough surface like that. And it helps me in erasing the shades without adding those sharp white lines. Okay, so in the end, I'm gonna add these individual hairs with the mechanical pencil. And with this final step, I'm done with this realistic portrait of Taylor Swift. I hope you enjoyed this complete portrait tutorial series. Please consider supporting me on Patreon for some real-time tutorials, exclusive Patreon-only tutorials, great references, and much more. This portrait tutorial series was made possible by all of my awesome patrons. And I want to thank these amazing souls for their support in month of April. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram for more tips, tricks, and BTS content. So thank you so much for watching, keep learning, keep trying, and I'll see you on Saturday with something new and much more exciting.